Welcome to the Stoic Golden Tribe, where enduring wisdom meets the strength of presence, and where we uncover the truths modern society refuses to teach men. Today's topic is one most people are too afraid to say out loud. If your woman can't give you these 4 things, leave her immediately. Because here's the reality, brother. Modern men are shamed into settling. We're told to be grateful for any attention, to bend, to compromise, to accept disrespect, just to keep someone in our bed. But true masculinity doesn't beg, it doesn't plead, it doesn't accept crumbs when it deserves a feast. The Stoics taught us that you can't control others, only yourself, but you can choose where you stand and who stands beside you. In this video, we'll break down 4 non-negotiable things every man must expect from a woman he calls his partner. If she can't give you these, you owe it to yourself and to your future to walk away. We're going to draw on real history. Emperors betrayed by lovers, kings whose downfall began with misplaced trust, but also timeless love stories that show us what real partnership looks like. You'll learn not just what to avoid, but how to build the self-respect, boundaries, and emotional intelligence that attract the right kind of woman and repel the wrong. This is the truth they won't teach you, the hard wisdom you wish you learned sooner. If you value your time and your legacy as a man, listen carefully. If you're new here, like, share, and subscribe to join the Stoic Golden Tribe, where we refuse to lie to men about what it takes to lead, to love, and to live with purpose. Comment below your thoughts, challenges, or experiences. Let's speak the truth together. Now let's begin. Chapter 1. Respect. The first non-negotiable. Let's begin with the first thing she must give you. Respect. Respect is the foundation of every relationship worth keeping. Without it, nothing else matters. And yet so many men tolerate disrespect, excusing it as personality, moods, or modern independence. Let's be clear, a woman who disrespects you does not see you as a man worthy of leading, protecting, or building with her. And if she can't respect you, she will sabotage you. History proves it. Look at Mark Antony and Cleopatra. Their love was legendary, but also their downfall. Cleopatra did not truly respect Antony as an independent ruler. She manipulated him to serve Egypt's interests over Rome's, convincing him to fight Octavian even as his men lost faith. When Antony realized too late that she'd outplayed him, Rome was lost. His empire, his legacy, even his life ended in suicide. The lesson? A woman's respect is not about fear, it's about alignment. If she sees you as a man with vision, discipline, and principles, she will honor that. But if she sees weakness, she will exploit it, even unconsciously. As men, we must cultivate our own self-respect first. It's easy to blame women for testing us. But emotional intelligence demands we see our role. If you tolerate disrespect, eye-rolling, public humiliation, dismissive sarcasm, undermining your decisions, you are training her to see you as weak. You teach people how to treat you. This is why Stoicism is not passivity, it is discipline. A Stoic man sets boundaries calmly but firmly. He does not rage or whine, he simply enforces his standards. And here's the thing about women worth keeping, they want to respect you. Even Queen Victoria, one of history's most powerful women, respected her husband Prince Albert so deeply that after his death, she wore mourning black for 40 years. She deferred to his counsel on state matters. Albert wasn't a tyrant. He was principled, disciplined, and clear. She respected him because he deserved it. So ask yourself, do you respect yourself enough to demand respect? Are you willing to walk away from any woman who cannot or will not offer it? Because without respect, there is no partnership. Only negotiation, manipulation, and eventual betrayal. This is the first non-negotiable. How do you enforce this in real life? Emotional intelligence is critical. It's not about screaming, "Respect me." It's about calmly stating your boundary and showing through action you will not compromise it. For example, I don't accept being talked to like that. If it happens again, this ends. And mean it. This might feel harsh, especially if you were raised to be nice at all costs. But consider Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome who ruled during plague, famine, and war. He wrote in his private diary, "If someone does wrong, it is because they do not know better. Correct them if you can. If not, endure or leave." There it is. Correct her if you can. Teach her how to treat you. If she refuses, leave. Because a man who stays with a disrespectful partner is a man who has disrespected himself first. Why do men struggle with this? We fear loss. We fear being alone. We fear starting over. But solitude is superior to humiliation. Seneca, another great Stoic, wrote, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you can improve." If your woman refuses to offer respect, you are not improving each other, you are destroying each other. Real love isn't just passion or comfort, it is mutual regard. So take inventory. Does she speak to you with respect? Does she value your time and effort? Does she support your mission? If the answer is no, leave. Because the man who tolerates disrespect loses not only his partner, but himself. Let's remember Shah Jahan and Mumtaz Mahal, the Mughal emperor who built the Taj Mahal for his wife. Mumtaz was not a queen who challenged his authority in public, mocked him, or played petty games. She was his confidant, advisor, and the person he trusted most. Their love is immortal not because it was easy, but because it was respectful. True partnership requires shared mission, trust, and deference where appropriate. Don't settle for less. If you're listening to this, know this is the first test. If your woman can't or won't respect you, do not try to fix her. Fix yourself. Fix your standards. And if she won't rise to them, walk away. Comment below. I do not beg for respect, I command it. Drop it below if you're ready to set the standard. Chapter 2. Loyalty. The second non-negotiable. The second thing you must demand without apology is loyalty. And let's be clear, loyalty is not just about sexual faithfulness, though that is a given. It is about allegiance, about knowing that when the world turns against you, the woman in your bed is in your corner. Without loyalty, you are sleeping with the enemy. Consider Julius Caesar and his famed mistress Servilia. Servilia was no docile lover. She was intelligent, sharp, ambitious. But she was not loyal. She leaked information to her son, Brutus, the very man who would plunge the knife into Caesar's back on the Ides of March. While he trusted her, she was plotting with those who envied him. Caesar, blinded by lust and sentimentality, failed to see this betrayal coming. His empire was secure, his armies unmatched, but his bed was compromised. As men, we forget that our greatest vulnerability is emotional. We can fight wars, build empires, and still fall to ruin because of the wrong woman whispering in our ear. What does loyalty look like in a relationship? Defending you when others attack? Protecting your secrets? Supporting your mission? Speaking well of you behind your back? Sacrificing when times get hard? If she runs at the first sign of trouble, she was never yours. If she gossips about you, she is selling your reputation for social currency. If she entertains other men as friends, but calls you controlling when you object, she is unworthy of you. Loyalty cannot be negotiated with someone who does not value it. You can't force loyalty, but you can filter for it. You do this by setting clear expectations early. I'm not looking for someone who's half in. I'm looking for loyalty. If that's not you, that's okay, but it won't be us. Notice how calm, clear, and unapologetic that is. Women test men constantly, not because they're evil, but because they want to know your limits. A man with no limits is not safe. A man who tolerates disloyalty is not strong. Look at Odysseus and Penelope in Homer's Odyssey. Odysseus is gone 20 years, 10 at war, 10 trying to get home. Penelope has suitors pressuring her daily, promising wealth, comfort, even power. She refuses them all. She weaves and unweaves her tapestry, buying time, keeping her kingdom safe for her husband's return. Loyalty. Odysseus, for all his cunning and flaws, knew he had chosen a woman whose allegiance was absolute. That is why their reunion is one of the most powerful love stories in literature. Modern men have forgotten to demand this. We make excuses for disloyalty. She's just friendly. She didn't mean it. All women do that. number. Loyalty is a choice. If she cannot choose you fully, she cannot be yours truly. Why do men tolerate disloyalty? Because they fear scarcity. They believe there are no loyal women left. That is false. But loyal women gravitate toward men with standards. They want a man who expects loyalty because he offers it in return. If you act like you're grateful for crumbs, you'll get them. If you hold out for loyalty, you will lose some women, but gain the one who is worthy. How do you test loyalty? 1. Watch how she talks about her exes. If she trashes them, she will trash you. 2. Watch how she speaks of her friends. If she gossips about them, you're next. 3. Watch what she does when you're struggling. Is she there, or is she gone? 4. Watch her social behavior. Does she respect your relationship even when you're not around? A Stoic man does not accuse, threaten, or beg. He simply observes, decides, and acts. Henry VIII is a name everyone knows, but few think about why he became the tyrant who killed multiple wives. He was obsessed with loyalty, but demanded it while being unfaithful himself. He cheated, lied, and used women politically. When they betrayed him, he called them treacherous. Here's the truth. You cannot demand loyalty you will not give. A Stoic man is loyal first, to his mission, his word, his principles. Then he expects it from others. Be clear about what loyalty means to you. Don't assume she knows. Don't ignore early signs of disloyalty. They never get better. Lead by example. Be the man you want her to follow. And most importantly, be ready to walk away the moment she proves she cannot be trusted. Because a man who stays with a disloyal woman signs his own death warrant, emotionally, spiritually, even financially. Emperor Justinian and Empress Theodora of Byzantium. He was the most powerful man of his age. She was his equal in mind and will. During the Nika riots, when Justinian was ready to flee, Theodora said, "Purple makes a fine burial shroud," meaning she would rather die as an empress than live as a coward. She chose him, his reign, and his survival over her own safety. That is loyalty. That is the standard. If your woman cannot or will not give you loyalty, no matter how beautiful she is, no matter how much history you have, leave her immediately, because loyalty is not optional. It is the price of admission to your kingdom. Comment below, "I am loyal because I demand loyalty." Drop it below if you're done accepting betrayal disguised as love. Chapter 3. Support, the third non-negotiable. Let's talk about the third non-negotiable, support. Too many men settle for women who are neutral, or worse, obstacles to their purpose. They confuse attraction for partnership, chemistry for alignment, beauty for value. But here's the truth every man must learn. A woman who doesn't support your mission is not your partner. She is your liability. What is support? Support is not blind obedience. It is alignment. It's knowing that you have a purpose beyond her, and she chooses to stand beside you in that purpose. Support looks like encouraging your goals, not mocking them, offering perspective without belittling your vision, standing by you when you fail and helping you rise, seeing your potential even when you doubt it yourself. Without this, you will waste energy fighting your partner instead of the world. Napoleon Bonaparte was one of history's greatest generals, but his marriage to Josephine nearly destroyed him. Josephine was famously unfaithful, but beyond that, she didn't share his vision. She was focused on status, parties, Parisian gossip. He was building an empire. Napoleon, despite his genius, was emotionally dependent on her approval. Even after divorce, he sent her letters begging for love. Imagine the emperor of Europe who could command armies with a glance, reduced to pleading for validation, because he chose a woman who did not support his mission. As men, our desire for love can make us blind. We want to be understood, admired, even mothered. But partnership is not parenting. Your woman is not there to coddle you. She is there to challenge you, uplift you, and stand with you when the world says no. and you must do the same for her. What does lack of support look like? Sarcastic comments about your goals, shaming you for working hard, demanding you choose her over your mission, undermining your confidence, publicly dismissing your plans. This is poison, and it's subtle. Many men tolerate this because they don't want to seem controlling. But leadership means setting expectations. You must make clear, I have a mission. If you can't stand with me, stand aside. Marcus Aurelius is remembered as the philosopher king, but his marriage to Faustina was plagued with rumors of infidelity and disrespect. Though he rarely wrote of her in his meditations, his personal letters reveal a man constantly trying to balance duty to empire with chaos at home. Imagine writing Stoic philosophy while knowing your wife is gossip fodder. Even emperors struggle when their partner is not supportive, because a man's private life shapes his public strength. How do you know if she's supportive? Does she celebrate your wins without jealousy? Does she give honest feedback without cruelty? Does she encourage your work instead of resenting it? Does she have her own mission, or does she expect you to be hers? Men, you must understand. A woman who has no mission of her own will try to make you hers. She will consume your time, focus, and purpose, not because she is evil, but because nature abhors a vacuum. Eleanor of Aquitaine and Henry II. Their marriage was not without conflict. They were both powerful, stubborn, ambitious. But Eleanor supported Henry's claim to the throne. She helped him navigate alliances. She even led armies in his name. She wasn't passive, she was a partner. Their love burned hot, sometimes too hot. But they built an empire together. That is support, not submission, not blind obedience, but shared vision. Why men fail to demand this? Because many men lack a mission. If you don't know where you're going, you can't ask anyone to join you. You cannot demand support if you are aimless. That is the harsh truth. Women instinctively test men for direction. If you crumble under questioning, if you get defensive when she challenges you, she will lose faith in you. Leadership is not tyranny, it is clarity. Invite her input, but make the final call. Praise her support, but never beg for it. Walk away from sabotage disguised as concern. Because here's the law, the man who sacrifices his mission for his woman loses both. You must be willing to walk away from anyone who can't stand beside you. Alexander conquered the known world, but his marriage to Roxana was strategic, not supportive. She was jealous, unstable, and distrusted his generals. After Alexander's death, she murdered rivals to secure her son's claim. Their union fractured his empire. Even the greatest conqueror was undone by a partner who did not share his vision. Practical steps for men. 1. Define your mission. Without it, you're lost. 2. Communicate it clearly. Don't hide it to please her. 3. Evaluate her response. Does she align or resist? 4. Set expectations early. Don't negotiate your purpose. 5. Be ready to walk away. A partner is not a project. A woman worth keeping. Challenges you with respect, questions you without undermining, comforts you without enabling weakness, celebrates your wins like they're hers. She is rare, which is why you must be rare too. While John Adams was away forging a new nation, Abigail ran the farm, raised the children, and counseled him through letters. Her advice shaped policy. Their letters are a testament to respect, loyalty, and support. John called her my dearest friend. That is partnership. That is the standard. If your woman can't give you this, if she mocks your dreams, drains your focus, or forces you to choose between her and your mission, leave her immediately, because a man without support is a king without a kingdom. Comment below, my mission comes first. Drop it below if you refuse to sacrifice your purpose for anyone. Chapter 4. Peace. The fourth, non-negotiable. We've talked about respect, loyalty, and support. But now we come to the final, critical, non-negotiable thing every man must demand from his woman. Peace. If she cannot give you peace, leave her immediately. Because a man's mission depends on clarity, focus, and calm. Without peace at home, you will fail everywhere else. What does peace mean? Peace isn't silence. It isn't obedience or submission. It's the absence of unnecessary conflict. It's trust that she will not sabotage your focus with drama. It's knowing your home is your refuge, not your battlefield. Peace means she knows when to challenge you and when to comfort you. It means she values emotional stability as much as you do. We used them as a positive example of support. But let's be clear, they failed at peace. Their mutual ambition turned into open rebellion. Eleanor encouraged their sons to rise against Henry. Their empire was strong, but their marriage was war. And in the end, he imprisoned her for treason, because even the most powerful man in Europe could not rule effectively while fighting constant battles at home. As men, we often overlook this. We think conflict is normal. We tell ourselves all relationships have drama. But drama is not love. Drama is dysfunction. And no mission can survive constant emotional fires. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." But let's be honest, if your woman manufactures drama, no amount of Stoic mindset will fix her. You can control yourself, but you cannot control someone who thrives on chaos. What does lack of peace look like? Constant arguing over trivial things, emotional outbursts without cause, passive-aggressive silence, sabotaging your focus during critical times, making you choose between your calm and her approval. Men often mistake this for passion. They think, she just loves me so much. Say, she loves controlling you through your emotions, because a man who is angry, distracted, or reactive is weak. Marcus Aurelius struggled with Faustina's rumored affairs. Imagine being the emperor, writing timeless wisdom in meditations while hearing rumors about your wife's infidelity. He couldn't banish her. Politics required the marriage, but historians agree she brought him no peace. He fought wars on the frontier and at home. His wisdom survived, but his heart paid the price. Peace starts with you. You must cultivate it in yourself, but you must also demand it in your relationships, because emotional intelligence is not absorbing abuse. It is recognizing patterns. It is enforcing boundaries. It is leaving what cannot be fixed. What does peace look like? Calm, honest communication. Disagreements resolved with respect, emotional stability, not volatility. Ability to hold space for each other's struggles, prioritizing unity over winning arguments. Men, your woman should not be your therapist, but she must be a safe space. If you cannot relax around her, you are not in love. You are in survival mode. Why do men tolerate chaos? Because they confuse it with excitement. They think drama is proof she cares. But the truth, it validates their power over you. And once you sacrifice your peace, you sacrifice your mission. You cannot build an empire while fighting civil war in your own home. Two of Hollywood's biggest stars, their love was passionate, intense, and catastrophic. They married twice. Their fights were legendary. Public shouting matches, jealousy, affairs, alcohol-fueled violence. Burton once said, "You can't keep clapping a couple of sticks of dynamite together without expecting them to blow up." They had attraction, loyalty in their own twisted way, even support for each other's art. But they had no peace. And in the end, love wasn't enough. How do you evaluate peace? How does she handle conflict? Does she escalate or de-escalate? Does she respect your need for focus? Can she soothe you or only inflame you? Is her presence calming or stressful? You must be ruthlessly honest. A woman who cannot regulate herself will never bring you peace. How to enforce? This standard one, communicate early. I won't live in chaos. 2. Model emotional regulation yourself. 3. Praise calm resolution. 4. Walk away from repeated drama. Because here's the truth. You can fix a problem. You cannot fix a person who loves problems. We talked about them in respect. But they also exemplified peace. Their letters are tender, personal, loving. They disagreed, but they didn't humiliate each other. Albert was her confidant. Victoria wrote after his death, "There is no one to call me Victoria now. That is the peace of being known. That is the standard. A woman worth keeping respects you, is loyal to you, supports your mission, gives you peace. Anything less? Leave her immediately, not because you hate her, but because you love yourself. A man who loves himself refuses disrespect, betrayal, sabotage, and chaos because he knows he is the steward of his own destiny. You have power over your mind, not outside events. True, but you have the power to choose who you allow into your mind and heart. Choose wisely, because the wrong woman can ruin you, and the right woman will multiply you. If your woman cannot give you peace, no matter what else she offers, walk away, because a man with peace is dangerous. He is focused, he is unshakable, he is free. Comment, I choose peace over chaos. Drop it below if you're done settling for drama.